have joined human rights campaigners in London to urge the Prime Minister for full disclosure of Britain's involvement of a raid on the Golden Temple in India 30 years ago.
They say they want to know the truth after government papers appeared to suggest that British officials had advised India on the planning of the raid. Rajiv Popat reports.
Desperate for answers, desperate for the truth. Members of the Leic Sikh Alliance travelled to Westminster today to urge their MPs to help them establish exactly what happened 30 years ago when troops in India stormed the Golden Temple, their holiest shrine.
We want a thorough inquiry.
Internal British government documents appear to suggest that SAS had been sent to Amritsar to help with the planning.
First thing that we want is full disclosure of all the documents relevant to this, because without that there won't be confidence in the process. Also, it needs to be transparent. There shouldn't be a case of party politics being placed before the interests of the truth.
If it transpires that the British government had colluded with the Indian authorities, could that damage relations with the Sikh community?
Absolutely. So there'll have to be a system where we look at why that help was given, because the attack on the Golden Temple was a crime against humanity.
The truth must come out. Sikhs in my constituency and across the Midlands are understandably deeply concerned about these reports. They are asking their members of Parliament to take action to ensure there's full transparency and openness.
Today, a letter calling for a clear response to suggestions of British involvement in Amritsar was delivered to the Prime Minister. Among those at Downing Street was Phil Miller, the journalist who uncovered the documents when he went to the National Archives looking for information on British Special Forces in Sri Lanka.
Came across these files about the SAS advising the Indian government on a possible raid on the Golden Temple in Amritsar.
What was your reaction when you read that, when you found out?
Well, at first, I was surprised to see these covert operations happening in another South Asian country, not just in Sri Lanka.
The aim of the military assault on the Golden Temple, codenamed Operation Blue Star, was to evict separatists who were campaigning for an independent homeland called Khalistan. The Indian government said 400 people died during the raid, but many dispute this and say thousands were killed. In a statement, the Foreign Office said the Prime Minister has asked the Cabinet Secretary to look into this urgently and establish the facts. The Prime Minister and the Foreign Secretary were unaware of these papers prior to publication. Sikhs say the